Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well in these times of lockdown and quarantine. Now, with the better weather and the additional time that many of us now have on our hands, it's time to do 4 essential jobs around the home. So get your gloves on and let's crack on. So let's kick off with the drains. It doesn't matter, even if you have a brilliantly fitting cover, it's amazing what finds itself behind. Now, I didn't have a brilliantly fitting cover, so hence there's a load here. I'm trying to be really careful and just make sure that as little as possible falls down the drain, because otherwise I'm going to need some big rubber gloves to get it out. Now, a while back I did just put on this secondary plastic cover, this secondary plastic grate, so hopefully that'll help. Right, with that cleaned out, let's just put that secondary grate back in position. It will sit there quite nicely, it won't go anywhere. And just the existing cover that I have, I think what I need to do is go and find another one which is just slightly better fitting for the gap that we need to cover. But anyway, that'll help us for now. So onto the gutters then. It's absolutely amazing what you can find in them. Now here it's mainly just sort of moss, earth, twigs, and certainly a lot of leaves, as we have many trees around the neighbourhood. So let's make a start, get this cleared out. I think this one is actually built up over a number of years, as I don't remember doing this in quite a while. Even though this isn't necessarily the most ideal way to do this, we actually have quite a bit of overlap on the gutters from the tiles, so it's not actually working too badly. And while I'm here, I may as well just get some of the moss off too, because ultimately that's only going to end up in the gutter at some point. So something not immediately obvious from down here, but when you come up a ladder and get a little bit closer, you can see the clip is broken. So these two bits of gutter aren't actually attached to each other whatsoever. So glad we spotted this, so we can get this fixed before it gets even more of a problem and we start getting water ingress into the garage. Now I know what you're thinking, it's all very well getting up a small ladder, just 1 story height, to clean the gutters, but what about getting right up there? Totally agree, that's a completely different kettle of fish, and heights certainly aren't my thing. But there's one thing I may be able to do with the way this house is built, and that's cheat. Fortunately for me, the house actually had a loft conversion many years ago, so it enables me to look at all manner of gutters without ever needing to get up in a ladder. But fortunately this one is in really good condition, and this is especially surprising given how close it is to the one we just cleared out. But anyway, if you don't have access to loft conversion and don't want to get up a ladder, perhaps you could use a selfie stick on your phone from the top floor of the house just to see what actually needs doing, and then plan accordingly. On to the third of the quartet of jobs then, and that's lubrication, especially for things like outdoor hinges, which is exactly what I'm doing here. Now, this isn't a permanent lubricant or grease, so really should be applied regularly, but it will obviously help, squeaks, drive out moisture, and also as well help with rust prevention. And when doing this, do spray it quite liberally, and to make sure you get all of those nooks and crannies, just wiggle the gate or door just to make sure the fluid gets everywhere within the hinge. Before even starting the 4th job, I had to trim back that bush you just saw on screen, which had overgrown and actually been scraping off the stain on this gate. However, as you can see as well, that's not the major part of the damage to the gate, as the wood has actually been splitting. Now, I was just concerned that over time, if I left it, the only thing that's going to happen, water's going to get in, as temperatures rise and fall, that may freeze, and as a result, it's just going to cause that split to get even bigger. So you can see what I'm doing is just trying to fill that gap as much as possible, stop the water ingress, and extend the life of the gate for as long as is possible. And for me, unfortunately, this is just one example of exterior wood care that I need to attend to after, in some cases, some years of neglect. Now, I'm not looking for perfection, but just something that fits in with the rest of the fencing and the gates. And you can see the results right here. And all I've used is just some exterior wood filler, which I've also used elsewhere with great success over a number of years, and which is lasting really very well. As well as some wood stain that you can buy from any DIY store, which also, as long as it's not scraped away, does last many years. Here it is, and that's another job done. Quite rustic, but fits in perfectly with everything else around it. If you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe, and I'll be back soon with some more videos.